Hello and welcome to Football Cruise on Nigeria Footballers TV. It's been a while on the show. As usual, it's the penultimate international break before the World Cup. Yeah, because we still have one more international break just before the World Cup. So it's good to be back on the show. It is Football Cruise on Nigeria Footballers TV. My name is Emmanuel Sebastian. I'm not alone in the studio. Let me quickly bring my guest in the studio. I'll start with the familiar man on my far right. Bolu, how are you doing on the show
I'm
today?
doing well, thank you very much. It's nice to be here again.
And how was the weekend? Yeah.
Yeah, it was all right. Not much.
No football. Yeah.
Super Eagles are yet to play their official game, so looking forward to it.
All right, so we have our guest on the show today. He's making his debut on the show, and it's always a pleasure to have him, talk about football, Nigerian football, and specifically the NPFL. Shego, how are you doing today?
Very good, very good. Nice to be here today.
All right, how was the weekend for you? No club football, was it?
Kind of boring, but we are here today to talk Niger.
All right, so like I mentioned, no club football this past weekend. It was the international break, and it was all things Super Eagles. Of course, no World Cup for the Super Eagles. Two friendly games were organized against Algeria. First, it was the B team, and they will be playing against the main team. So all this and more we'll be talking about on the show. We're going on a quick break now. Stick around. It is still Football Cruise on Nigeria Footballers TV. Welcome back, guys. It is still Football Cruise on Nigeria Footballers TV. Now, guys, let's get in on the show. The Super Eagles, we took on the B side of Algeria last week in a friendly game. I mean, quite a number of people have come out to say, why should we be playing the B side of Algeria? We should be playing the first team. Maybe we no go collect, or maybe they no go beat us, stuff like that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, 2-2. And, the talking points from that game was Maduka Okoye. I mean, we all know what he's been through since the AFCON, in Cameroon. That goal against Tunisia, there were reports that he wanted to take a break from the national team. We didn't see him. He hasn't played under the new manager. That was his first unofficial game under Jose Peseiro, and he committed an error in that game. I mean, what's your take on Maduka Okoye? Shegun, let me start with you. What's your take on Maduka Okoye? Has it been convincing for you in the colours of the Super Eagles so far?
So, Maduka Okoye coming into the Super Eagles, for me, right from the one, it was kind of questioning for me because then it was coming from the 4th division in Germany.
Yeah.
I wasn't really convinced when Gonatro called him up, and he came in, did his beats, still not so convincing. He went to the AFCON, and also he had all of those goalkeeping issues, and the AFCON went by. After the AFCON, he decided he wants to go like a game or two off the Super Eagles, and he came back into this game. So far from his antecedent before this game, I've not been really convinced that I'm of the fact, right? It's not like he's really done anything. I've not seen a game where I can say Maduka, he gave us like a point.
For the Super Eagles?
Yeah, for the Super Eagles, right? I don't think I've seen that game that would say, oh, Maduka saved us 1 point in this game. And at least he's had over 10 caps if I'm right. So it's not been really convincing for me. And going into this game, that Aula was actually very terrible. We know Peseiro has been demanding from his team that play from the back, don't lose possession, play the attacking style of football. We saw in our last friendly where we won 10-0, we saw how we played very fluid attacking style of football, and that is the Peseiro style. But right now, that error it's like a schoolboy error. Maduka shouldn't be making such error. Though I would cut him a bit of slack in this. Peseiro set.
You're the first person I'm hearing that want to cut him some slack in that area, because we know the world we live in now. Criticism here and there. Maduka Okoye is not new to it. If you fumble in the national team is a place where you don't have much time to redeem yourself.
Exactly.
But
Criticism sells better than praise.
Exactly. So that's the world we live in when it comes to the national team. Fans want to criticize. So I think you're the first person I'm hearing that you want to cut him some slack. So, but why would you cut him some slack?
All right. So from I'll speak from Peseiro's tactical setup of the team. We know Peseiro is a coach that he demands his team to play attacking football and possession football and playing out from the back. I expected that the defenders should also give him options. You could, if you watch the clips of that goal we conceded, the ball came in from the left-hand side of the pitch. I think Bassi passed the ball to him. A normal defense, a normal team that is built on possession, or a possession-based team, we understand that normally the centre back should go wide, while the DMF comes into the middle of the two what did they call center backs to create options for the goalkeepers. But if you look at that clip, Ekong was already right behind the press. Normally, the ball came in from the left. We expected that Ekong should be on. If you watch the way he also turned, the way he received the ball, he turned completely off the left-hand side towards the right-hand side. And he expected that somebody already should be at that right-hand side of the pitch. But no one was there, and he hesitated. And I think the reason why he didn't balloon the ball again was this. He was trying to play 100% to the coach's instruction, which is don't lose possession, be clean with the ball. And he hesitated. But the problem is this. You are a goalkeeper that you've been keeping in Europe for years. You should know already when to clear off the ball and when to keep the ball.
Just give me a little bit of benefit of doubt. Like, well, it was an unofficial game, and
so is it safe to say we have a goalkeeping crisis with the national team? I mean, Uzoho as well is not getting the playing time, at his club side. Maduka Okoye, same scenario. I mean, we have Adebayo Adeliye now, who's getting into the fold as well. So is it safe to say, just in one line, but just give me one response? Is it safe to say we are in a goalkeeping crisis now?
I think we've been in the goalkeeper crisis right from the moment.
Yeah, for a long time.
I mean, Enyama retired.
He came in as well.
Retired. He came in, and then he came in, was diagnosed with cancer. I think we've been in the goalkeeping crisis for 4, 5, 6 years now, and this is just part of the process of trying to get out of that crisis.
And all that.
Like I said earlier, we have young goalkeepers. These are the only goalkeepers we have, and they are all young. Adeleye himself is young. Uzoho is young. Maduka is young. So we cannot just get an Enyama suddenly. We have to actually go through that process, waiting a number of years for these guys to actually build their confidence and their experience as international goalkeepers.
All right, talking about going through that process. Now, let me put you on the spot now. I mean, you follow the NPFL a lot, and are there any goalkeepers in the NPFL that can step up? We've had John Noble with the team. We don't know where he is at the moment. We've not been seeing him with the national team. For the Chan Eagles, for the Chan Eagles, we have Stanley Wabali as well, who was in goal for that friendly in the US against Mexico and Ecuador. Now we have Adewale Adeyinka as well, who's been with the team as well. These are 3 goalkeepers from the NPFL. Out of the 3, are there any one of them that have convinced you that they can take the mantle from the goalkeeping positions for the Super Eagles?
So for the NPFL goalkeepers, I really can't say I can trust anyone to take that mantle. And my reason being, there's really no metrics to understand how good a goalkeeper is in the NPFL. We don't have numbers, we don't have data to back up how good these players are or these goalkeepers are. So I would not just because of the thought of he had 20 clean sheets, he had 15 clean sheets, he had 17 clean sheets. A team could have 10 clean sheets, 5 clean sheets, 17 clean sheets, and the goalkeeper is only making 2, 3, 4, 5 saves.
So it might not be down to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it might not really be down to the goalkeepers. So we really don't even watch these guys because the NPFL is not on TV. So we don't even watch these guys to attest to the fact that, these guys are truly influencing the result of their game. So I really can't pinpoint the likes of Sochima. Sochima had, I think, 15 clean sheets last year with Rivers
United,
yeah. Bankole is a guy that people rave about in the media, in the local media. Bankole, Vermont Stars. Yeah, that's a decent goalkeeper. I've seen his clips. He's there, but I can't really attest to this guy because I don't watch him. It's not someone we see week in, week out. The likes of Adele, he had 20 clean sheets with Aqua last year. That's a record. Adeyinka, yeah. But we can't say, Adeyinka really influenced Aqua United because we didn't really watch these guys. So, and there's no data to really stop that, this guy is making 5 saves per game. This guy is really making 4 saves. So I can't pinpoint anybody from the NPFL that can say, he can take up. And we've seen, let's go antecedent. We've seen NPFL goalkeepers and we have seen how less confident they are when they take up the mantle of their goalkeeping position in the NPFL. Let's start from John Noble. The last time he played for us, you could see that.
Yeah, he wasn't confident. Yeah.
Go back to this other guy, the guy that played Atland, what's his name again? The former Atland goalkeeper that was kind of regular, kept against Cameroon. I can't just remember. Ezenwa, exactly. Ezenwa played lots of games for us, but still, no fan can say Isn't wise.
At some point, I thought it was going to, be the number one for the Super Eagles.
But there was really, to me, it really didn't convince me so much in his time with the Super Eagles. And these are MPFL goalkeepers. So there's really nothing from the MPFL or someone from the MPFL I can pinpoint and say for now that this guy can take up the mantle. And my reason still stands because there's no data to back up these guys. It's through videos and data that we can use to know, oh, this guy is a very good goalkeeper or is a bad goalkeeper, and there's really no data. So,
Bolu, do you want to agree with that? But you just feel there should be somebody out there who could step up?
Disagree because it's easy to say they don't have the technical facilities to improve or to develop their talent and all that. But I don't think it's enough reason to close that opportunity for goalkeepers from the MPFL because there would always be talent. There would always be talent, and we've had recent examples of people like Edward Mendy and Andre Onana, African goalkeepers who are right at the top, who have made it to the top, basically from ground level, made it right to the top of European football.
They went to other clubs.
Yeah, they went to other clubs.
But not just from their domestic leagues to the national team.
No, they didn't do that from the domestic leagues, but the talents came from somewhere and they were able to develop. Of course, they had opportunities that are probably not available to an average Nigerian goalkeeper. But there's always opportunity for talent, and as long as there's always an opportunity of talent, the door should never be closed to any goalkeeper from the
Let me ask you a question. How do we know?
How do we know? There would always be an opportunity. For example, there's a current goalkeeper, Mark Ugbo, who 18-year-old who plays for Midtjylland, has made it to Midtjylland's first team.
Yeah.
He came straight from Nigeria in January this year, and I was reading his story.
Not from a local team.
Not from FC Ebede.
Yeah, but
a developmental club.
Yeah, exactly.
But then that's where the opportunity now comes. For someone like that who is actually Nigerian and is basically Nigerian made because he came from grassroots level basically. Someone like that now he can develop his talent and in a few years time can actually get there.
He played in Europe.
But he played in Europe. But also so that's what I'm saying. There's always an opportunity when there's talent. And you give that talent a little bit of opportunity. There's always a chance. So there can always be a chance for someone somewhere along the line. That's what I'm just trying to say.
Yeah, I agree with you. There can always be a chance. But the thing is, we can't know. We can't find. Because there's nothing to back up this hypothesis that there's someone in that league. There's not.
All right. So the test game is done. Now we're playing against the main team of Algeria. And we've seen the likes of the big guys, Riyad Mahrez and all that. I mean, Riyad Mahrez, you should remember him from that 2019 AFCON.
That name is scary. It's scary.
But like I said, the test game, good game for the Super Eagles.
He's not in the score this time, so
good game for the Super
memories.
Iwobi continued this brilliant run of form, scored a brilliant goal in that test game. Sirides as well got on the score sheet. But now what's your expectations now for this? Because this is the main game against the main team of Algeria. So what are you expecting? I mean, we've had some couple of withdrawals, from the defense to the attack. I mean, the Oyibo Wall. Both players withdrew from the squad. So, what are your expectations? What are the centre-back pairings you would want to see in that game against Algeria on Tuesday?
Yeah, I'll start first of all about highlighting how important this game is for us. It might be a friendly, it might be just a month to the World Cup, even though we're not going to the World Cup. But it's quite important in terms of our psychic because we've lost our last two games against Algeria. We've not won a friendly game in 10 matches. We've not won any of our last 10 friendly games, and that's dating back to 2019. I don't know if you remember when Onuachu made his debut against Egypt.
Egypt 1-0.
When he scored. Yeah, that was the last time we won a friendly game.
This might just add extra spice.
Yeah, add extra spice. And we've not beaten Algeria in the last two games. We don't have a very good record against them. So we really need it psychologically, and the fact that it's a high-profile friendly. Anyway, you put it, it's going to be a competitive game because there are big players on the pitch who have egos that want to make something for the country. So it's going to be quite an important game for that psychology. At least we go into the World Cup. We know that the final international break before the World Cup, we have something to look for, to a bit of positivity, which will be good for us. And then looking at the centre-back pairings, it'll be good to see a new chemistry building up in that position because the Oyinbo will have been they've been very wonderful servants for the Super Eagles, but they're not getting any younger. Balogun is 34 now, or close to 34. Ekong is close to 30s now. So he's not getting game time as much. So we need to start building another level of partnership in that defense. And there's Calvin Bassey already. Who would pair with him? Is it Akpo Goma? Is it Omeru? Is it Awaziem? Would it be Osonwafo? Osonwafo is also left-footed. So it's just been nice to see what brews in that position, and I'm looking forward to it really.
All right, Shegun, quickly for you before we wrap up, what are your expectations for that game against Algeria?
Yeah, I just want a competitive game. I want the guys to to at least show that they can give us something to get excited about. We've not the few games we've seen under Pesero is a bit under we played against weaker oppositions. So it's like the first opposition that we're playing that is kind of very a big high profile opposition. So I expect that these boys are supposed to give their best. Where am I looking at? I'm looking at the wings. I want to see something new. The wings has not really excited me. Our wing players, they've not really excited me in a while. I've not seen something really flashy from the wings. So I want to see something today. Maybe this Xavier Godwin that came into the fray. I want to see him play. I just want to see that kind of wing football, and let's see what Lookman also brings. Lookman played well in our last game, but we can also see we played against a weaker opposition. So I want to see something. And also, as I said, the defensive partnership. Let's see what brews there, and let's see how the team does. But all in all, I want to see a very competitive game, and I want us to win. I think at least let us have that bragging right against Algeria, and those guys, they trend us a lot on Twitter. Any small thing, they put up that Mahrez. So I want us to have that kind of bragging right, even though it's a friendly. So I want to see something competitive and a win for Nigeria.
All right, guys, that was a brilliant analysis from the guys in the studio. I mean, remember that game comes up tomorrow, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, and the team have touched down in Oran, Algeria, where that game will be going down. So hopefully they get to put out a better performance, like the guys have said. We want to see good performance from the guys, and hopefully the new guys called up can get a debut to their name, the likes of Onyedika, Xavier Godwin, and Adebayo Adele. Guys, it's been Football Cruise on Nigeria Footballers TV. Don't forget to always keep it up with us across all our social media pages, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on notification for premium Nigerian football content. Till we come away again next time, my name is Emmanuel Sebastian. I've been with Bolu on the show and Shegun Akinte on the show. Keep cruising, guys. Bye-bye.